Seddon, just
Right, hold on, wait, before we do it, right. Testing, 1, 2. Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, we've got Gaz Seddon, number 9.
19.
19.
Don't like 9.
Do you not?
No, I'll explain why.
Right. And we've also got our Gaz, studious Gaz today.
Studious, yeah. I'm trying to look more intelligent.
You do look more with your glasses?
Yeah.
You do?
My eyes just hurting, but yeah.
Right,
Okay.
we're going to read out Gaz's Wikipedia.
Let's see how accurate it is.
Yeah.
So we've got Gareth John Seddon, Jon as middle name.
Yeah.
Correct. Born the 23rd of May 1980.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm nearly 40. Oh, God.
He's an English footballer who played as a striker. He played 80 games in the Football League for Bury. Correct?
Correct, yeah.
All right. 6'1".
Nearly 6'2".
6'1". Go on.
So we have
You wrote this?
Bury. It says Bronze Adonis after it as well. You must have wrote it.
Yeah.
We've got 2001 to 2004 Bury. 79 appearances, 18 goals. Correct?
Maybe. think so.
North.
That's just league goals, remember. Including cup.
Northwich Victoria, Lawn, 1 appearance. Yeah. Rushton and Diamonds, 0 appearances.
The what?
Rushton and Diamonds. They used to play First Division.
Right.
Berry sold me to him, paid a load of money for men and never played one game.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Well, yeah, we got to that.
Yeah.
Paddy Ham.
Yeah.
It just says question mark next to your appearances, but you had 18 goals.
Yeah, 3 games or something.
Worcester City, 1 appearance, 1 goal. Not bad. Hyde United, and this is impressive if it's true, 75 appearances and 52 goals.
It's 87 appearances, 72 goals.
Is it?
Yeah, I went to an awards thing the other night and they presented me with like a plaque. 72 in 87.
That's
Not
good,
bad,
isn't it? Very good.
Not bad for a goalkeeper.
Kettering Town, 46 appearances, 15 goals.
That's bollocks. This is the one that I'm allowed to swear.
Yeah.
This is the one that I keep trying to change.
Right.
I was the only striker for Kettering in the last 15 years to ever score 20 league goals in a season in the top flight.
So that's more than the whole total, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
so
including cup.
That's not including cup. I got 24 in the league and I got 7 in the cup. I got 31.
But the appearances
31
is
in
a bit
42.
right.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good. And then they sold me to Fleetwood then.
Yeah, so Fleet was next, and that's 98 appearances, 26 goals.
Yeah, I think it was a bit more than that. It was about 32.
Halifax, 32 appearances, 13 goals.
See, that's wrong. We'll get to that as well.
Somebody on Wikipedia hates you,
I had 24 goals by March, and if I reached 30, the club had to pay me 10 grand, so they didn't play me again for the rest of the season.
Really?
Yeah, and I got sold at the end of the season. I left and went to Chester. Screwed me over.
Yeah, so then we got Chester, and this is 35 in 7 goals.
35 game. No, see, that's more.
Yeah, I was going to say, because Salford, after watching the documentary, headhunted you to come and play for them, so that, I wouldn't say they come and headhunt you off that record.
Off 7 goals.
Yeah, do you know, in 35 appearances?
I don't know who runs Wikipedia. I don't know.
Who does run Wikipedia?
It sounds like Stevie Wonder.
It's a community thing, isn't it? That's why it's never really accurate.
Right,
so people update it all the time. I think you can actually go on and update it yourself.
I've tried it, but whenever... I've tried it about 100 times, but every time I refresh the page, it just goes back to that one. It really winds me up.
We'll try and edit
I once
for you.
I once spent a whole morning. Must have refreshed it about 30 times. It just kept changing back. So I ended up emailing them saying, why can't I change my goals? They never replied.
Start out for me. We've always, when we're doing shoots and stuff together, we've always like sitting over little stuff, haven't we? What you've been up to. But talk to me about Little Gaz and what did Little Gaz want to do?
Always wanted to, well, in fact, I was going to say I always wanted to be a footballer, but this probably won't shock you. I wanted to be James Bond. This is God's honest truth. I said to me, my teacher at junior school, we had like a careers thing, and we were obviously going into high school, and he said to me, "Oh, Gareth, I expect you want to be a footballer when you're older." And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, "Well, what else do you want to be then?" Fully expecting like a vet or a doctor or something educational. I went, "I want to abseil down buildings and crash through windows and shoot people." And he was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was mad on like the SAS and stuff like that. I wanted I wanted to be like work for MI5. I used to read loads of books about it. That's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the more and more I looked into it, obviously the more harder it is, and you can't. Yeah. But then obviously football took off when I was like 11, 12, and then went into high school, and that was all I ever wanted to be. Really.
When you say it took off, what does that mean? It took off.
Well, I got when I was 9, right? I was shite at football. I couldn't even get in the school team, which is really weird for like a 9-year-old, like who wants to be.
It's usually a lot younger, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'd never been to no academies, and I remember at junior school, the head teacher had to pick the best 7 players out of like the 14 who was in the school team. Like I was like, sometimes I'd play, sometimes I'd be sub. So we had to pick the best 7 players to play at Deepdale. Remember when it used to be like a 3G pitch?
Oh yeah,
Preston's
yeah.
pitch. So it was a 7-a-side school tournament, and like whenever I speak about this was like the defining moment of my life. I didn't get picked. I was heartbroken, and the 7 lads were all my friends, and they all went away and played in this tournament, and it was at the end of the school year. And I remember breaking up for like the 6-week summer holidays. And I thought to myself, I'm going to get in that team. Like I'm going to be a footballer. And somebody had bought me Paul Gascoigne soccer skills book, and I actually got it again only about 5 years ago. I got it off eBay and I found it, and I'm like reminiscing through it. But I literally, first day of the holidays, page 1, laid out some kind of like not cones but like 4 stations, dribbling non-stop for like 2 hours, dribbling. Once I'd done that with my left foot, dribbling. Next page was like a Cruyff turn, next page was like a step over, and I would just practice. I went through the whole book every single day, and this is no word of a lie, 14 hours a day. And I would not come off the back street. My mum was like, Gareth, I was like, no. And I was, hand on my heart, 14 hours a day. And there was an old bloke who used to sit across the street in a deck chair. And he used to watch me, and he'd pull me over, and he said, how many kick-ups can you do? And I said, probably about 20. He said, I'll give you £5 if you can get to 100. Imagine this was 1990, something like that. £5 was quite a lot of money. So I practiced and I did 100 kick-ups. So I went back, I showed him, and he said, right, but I did every single one with just my right foot. So then he said, right, if you can do 100 with both feet, I'll give you another £5. And by the end of the holidays, I could do 100 kick-ups, right, left foot, and on my head. I could do 100 headers at 10-year-old. Just stood there, 100 headers. And I'm talking 14, 15 hours a day I practiced. Went back to school, and I was the best player in the school by a million miles. 2 weeks later, we played a tournament. I got scouted by Blackburn Rovers, who were then the Premiership champions. I went to Blackburn Rovers, spent 9 years at Blackburn.
It's mental, that.
Fucking honestly.
Who was that guy?
I don't know. Even to this day, I couldn't remember. I couldn't be able to remember his name. He was in his 80s. He couldn't get up off his chair.
He knew that that's what you needed.
Yeah. He was. I get quite like not emotional, but I look back and I think, he must have seen something in me. Yeah. Even if it were just the determination. He might not have seen a player, but he must have just seen like, fucking hell, this kid's like, he wants to be a footballer. He's working his arse off.
Smart out, mate.
Yeah, and it was, and that was the defining moment. And it was, honestly, it was 2 or 3 weeks into going back to school. We played a little 5-a-side tournament, and I remember coming back into school.
Are you doing Cruyff turns and everything? Is everybody's head just like...
Somebody passed to me, right, and I took on the whole team, bang, slotted it, went back to the centre, they passed it, I intercepted it, took everybody on, bang. Honestly, I was so... You couldn't get the ball off me, because I'd literally spent the ball at my feet. I could do anything with the ball. You just could not get it off me. And I think, because I'd trained every day as well, I was dead light on my feet and dead quick. And I just knew, I just knew that I was good then. I just had this like confidence. And
but you've got the talent in you anyway, haven't you? But you've got to do the practice as well at the same time.
I think that's everything in life. I think everybody. You obviously get some special players who, in any walk of life, they're just musical, or they're athletic, or football wise. But there'll also be another 1,000 other lads or girls who are exactly the same as that. And I think the difference that takes you to that level is your determination, is your mindset. Anybody can be a good footballer or a good runner. It's when it gets tough, or when you get disappointment, or somebody else is as good as you or better. A lot of people just go, oh, well, he's better than me. Or, yeah, I won't be able to do that. Bollocks, everybody can do it. You've got to just, might take you a lot longer to achieve it, but you can still get there.
But what was inside of you that told you to, look, I need to be training 14 hours a day?
Because I didn't get picked.
There's no YouTube around. There's no books telling you this. You kind of, you're your own sort of like mentor.
Yeah, just because I didn't get picked, I hate losing at anything. I hate not being able to do something. And I've had it all my life. I went, a few years later, I was about 12, 13-year-old, and we used to go to Bolton's every year. And a lad beat me at snooker, like on a full-size table. So every single night, cause like you used to be able to go in at Butlins, you can go and play snooker and whatever, it's all for free. So I used to go and set up the balls, or play on my own, and just pot them into the pocket, practice. By the end of the holiday, I beat him. It was just...
That was it, just to beat this kid?
Yeah, I just wanted to beat him, and before I went home, I had to beat him. My stepdad, I'll tell you a story, right? At Burnley Swimming Centre, they used to have some diving boards. So you used to have like a springboard, a middle board, and then there was a top board. And I think it was a 10 metre. It might be more, 15 metre, but it's quite high, like it's high as that. And I remember one of my mates jumped off, and I went up. I didn't dare jump off, and I remember he'll tell the story. I was stood on the edge for nearly an hour because I wouldn't get down. I had to do it, and I ended up jumping off, but I belly flopped. Yeah, I had marks all over me, but I did it, and I would not get down until I did it. I was crying. He was like, "Gaz, we've got to go. Come get down." He's like, "I'll fetch you again." I'm like, "No."
Where have you got that from, do you think? Have you got it from your mum or your dad or anything? Or is it just inside you?
Yeah, no, my mum's not like that at all. Mum's like, "Oh, I'm not doing that, can't do that." Yeah, I don't know, it must just be inside me.
So, take me back to, obviously, you got the skills, and then you got into, where was it?
Blackburn Rovers,
right,
yeah.
So what happened then?
So they just won the league as well with Shearer that season.
Yeah, so Shearer and that were there, yeah. I think they become champions. So 1991 I joined. I think they become champions in 94. 11. No, 10. Yeah, 10. So I think they're in the Premiership. Jack Walker had brought all the money and stuff like that, and I think 2 or 3 years later, when I was 14, they won the Premiership. Yeah. Right, okay. So we used to go to a school of excellence, it were called, 2 nights a week. So you'd go, and it was all all the best players from around the area all used to train together, and then we used to play on a Sunday morning and out the 11 who played, I think 9 of us were signed on at Blackburn Rovers, and we won everything. So we had
What were you doing as well as doing that?
School.
Right.
At school, yeah.
So how demanding was that? You go at school?
No, just 2 nights a week.
Was it?
Yeah, it was fine, yeah. But I were doing everything. I were boxing at night, and I were doing all sorts. I was just dead active. So yeah, just what I wanted to do. I like I say, the team that we played for at the weekend.
So are you at this moment identifying yourself as a footballer?
Yeah, I'm going to be.
If people are asking you, "Look, Gaz, what are you?" I'm a footballer, and that's what
no. I always said I'm going to be a footballer.
Right.
At 12, 13, you don't think you're a footballer.
Right.
You obviously live and breathe
it.
Yeah, and you see your heroes. Like my hero was Alan Shearer. I absolutely loved him. So I just used to watch. Like say, there were no internet and no YouTube or anything, so it was just footy games on TV, match at day, Just used to watch Match of Day all the time. And then I'd play Wednesday night, Saturday morning, Sunday morning. That was my weekend. Like my mum and dad used to take me everywhere. Used to have to take me everywhere every weekend to play football.
You're all over the country at this point.
Yeah, because we'd play all the other like kind of Prem teams, if you will.
Yeah.
But then on a Sunday you'd play for this team that won everything as well. But we had likes of like, I don't know if you remember David Dunn.
Yeah.
So like I played with Dunny since I was 10 in this same team, and he was brilliant. He was like, first time my dad saw him play, he went, he's going to be England captain.
Really?
He was that good, yeah. He was heads and shoulders above me. He just naturally had it. He was unbelievable. I had to work at everything. I wasn't naturally talented. Even when I become a professional, lads just had that ability that I just didn't have. So then I'd have to go away and work on it. So like hours and hours of like finishing, backing in, trying to control it. Some lads he wouldn't even look where the ball were. It'd come, they go bang, control it, and it would just natural. Just add it.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had to really work on everything. I have like my schoolwork and stuff. I was in set 1 for everything, but the teacher said not because he's academically like good. He just works his arse off, and I was always one like the whole class. Like maths was my worst one. The whole class would be like the teacher would say, right, everybody get that? Have you got it? And I'd go, no, I don't get it. And she said, I was never shy to like hold my hand up and just say, I don't understand. And like, even my cousin would be like, are you fucking stupid or what? Fucking easy. And I'm like, I don't get it. It's like, I'll tell you later. And I'm like, no, I don't get it. And people used to not ridicule me, but they'd be like, oh my God, is he thick or what?
Are you quite disruptive in class, you?
No, not at all.
No Jack the lad?
No.
That's come later.
Yeah, I weren't in school. No. I was quite...
Isn't it mad that?
Yeah, I had a stammer, really bad stammer all my life. I still have to control it now. But you didn't know that.
No way, I didn't know
that.
that.
Yeah, I had to go speech therapy. Yeah, so from
Many
about...
layers to you guys, haven't you?
Yeah, from about 9 or 10, yeah, I got to a point where I couldn't answer the phone. So the phone would ring, and I got... and they go, hi Gareth, is your mum there? And I mum, I just had a panic, like when, say like I'm starting to stammer now just because I'm talking about it. But yeah, so then I had to go to like a speech therapist who then, it's all about breathing and pushing your words out. And sometimes like, I'd get stuck on a word because I just wasn't like pushing it out right, and I get it stuck, and I couldn't do it.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
But the stuff that I do now that no one had ever noticed, so like I'll pause, or I'll add in a different word, or I'll like kind of go right, and think about what I'm saying, and then so like that now, like people naturally think I'm talking and pausing and stuff like that, but I'm not. I'm just thinking about pushing the word out.
That's really smart.
It's weird because you are really quick on the trigger as well. Yeah. Jokes and stuff. It's weird.
Again, you've taught yourself how to do that.
Yeah. And I think me being super confident has come later on because it's overruled me when I was really, really not confident at school.
So really, on the sly, you're a bit of an introvert on the sly, which, like, to know you...
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I don't self-doubt, but I worry. I worry what people think of me.
Right.
I don't want people to... I'd hate to walk out of a room and someone go, what a dick he is. And like, I can't live with it. And my missus just like, why are you bothering like people who you don't even know or probably don't give a shit about you? Why do you want them to like you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I just have it in me. I don't, because I give everybody a chance. There's nobody who I don't like. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Apart from, you meet people. And you give them a chance, and you just think, you're just a dick. You're just not a nice person.
Yeah.
But for me, for someone to walk away and not think I was a nice guy, I'd want to know why. And I want to know, like, what have I said or have I done to make you not like me? And it just really, I've always been like all my life. So I think the character that I am now is I've probably produced that.
Yeah.
But I think that goes back to the way that you look at everything, and you've probably looked at it and thought, this is how I want to be, and you've worked towards that to be that person that you want to be a little bit.
100%, yeah.
Because you know, from the outside looking, you are like, you know, a cool guy, you know, with this quick on the trigger, jet the lad sort of thing. But you've sort of, in a way, manufactured that because that's where you thought, right. And it goes back to the James Bond thing a little bit, doesn't it? And that seems like sort of your inspiration to get to that level.
100%. You've turned out all right, guys. I'm going to be honest with you, mate.
Just about.
All right, pal.
But like from 16 to 21 as well, I had really bad acne. Like really bad. I was on tablets, ended up having to have injections and stuff like that to control. So I think that as well puts massive pressure on you, because you're obviously not good with the girls. Nobody fancies you. I got a story, right? So one of my best mates, Jason Jarrett, he was at Blackpool, and I was at Wigan, and we used to have to go to college. 1 day a week. So you train, like you leave school at 16. I signed a 2-year scholarship. So I was at Wigan. I was at Blackburn. He was at Blackpool. And we used to have to go to Preston College. And he's like a dead good looking lad, like half caste lad. And he was sat in the canteen. And as I walked in, these two girls were sat in front of him, and they went, "Oh, he looks fit." And as I got closer, they went, "Oh no, look at his spots." And he told me, and I was devastated. Yeah, but I was like,
how old were you then?
17.
So that's
I was
like
a footballer
on
then,
your
but it was, I mean, like really bad.
Yeah,
like, really bad they were. But I had them for such a long time, and I remember, like anybody who's had spots and stuff like that, acne, they'll like maybe like what's the word?
You're self-conscious, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. I suppose so. Yeah, but they'll not relate to this. You know the word I'm about. Yeah. Relate to this.
Yeah. I
used to wake up every morning, and I used to like have my eyes closed, and I'd like say, please, like when I look in the mirror, all my spots have gone. That's what I used to do.
Really?
Yeah, mad in it. Yeah, and now I don't.
I know, but in a way, Gaz, what I like about you, mate, is you've got no ego about you. And I think all these things that you've been through, the stammer and the acne and stuff like that, has actually helped you get rid of your ego, because you know what it is to fucking suffer and not be like, you've definitely not been fucking silver spoons fed, have you?
It's give you an understanding of how people feel, hasn't it? And that probably comes back around to the nice guy thing again. You know?
Like I think I do have a massive like empathy for other people. Like some people will see some people who have some kind of like disadvantage. It don't have to be like a disability, but can be anything, and they'll like maybe mock that, and I don't have that in me. I'm like, fucking hell, poor bastard. Like I'm gutted for him, because I know I'm nowhere near had what they've had, spots and a stammer. It's nothing, is it?
But you've been there, you know what it's
and I think, fucking hell, poor lad, like what he has to go through, or so I can see that.
Take me back to Blackburn then. So you're at Blackburn.
Yeah.
What happens after, take me through that process.
So
at Blackburn.
you sign 16 to 18 as a scholar, and then you're
getting paid at that point?
Yeah, you get paid. Yeah, it was only like 75 quid a week. But like you move away from home, you live in digs.
Right.
You train every day. Obviously, on a Thursday you go to college. You play on a Saturday morning, and you play against other club teams. So you'll play against like your Liverpools, Man United, or stuff like that. And then after the 2 year, you get told whether you're getting a pro deal. Now, obviously, it's every boy's dream to become a pro. Like thousands of lads become apprenticeship, like a scholar, but then it's maybe 2 or 3 out of the whole scholars who'll get a pro. So you got to be good. Towards the end of middle of the second season, I played against Burnley, and it was like a 50-50, and I jumped into the tackle, and the lads jumped in as well, and we've both kind of gone like 2-footed, but not a nasty 2-footed, just like a real hard challenge. And I've gone underneath his feet like straight legged has come over the top of mine. So I'm like sliding, if you will. So I'm not far off the ground, and his 2 feet have hit me in my chest, and I thought, oh my God, like I'm winded there. Yeah. It really hurt, and I was struggling to breathe. Only about 5 minutes left of the game, and I stood up and I'm thinking, oh God, I can't catch my breath here. Anyway, carried on playing, because I'm one of them as well. I don't like to show that I'm hurt. I don't know why. I think it's like kind of it's not a weakness, but like, especially on the playing field. So I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, gone back to the changing room, and I was sat down and I couldn't lean forward to take my boots off. It was just like a pressure in my chest. I was like, oh my God. So I've gone home, and I remember it was my stepdad's birthday. We're going out for a birthday meal. I said to my mum, I'm going to have a lie down, like my chest is killing. And she's like, you all right? I said, yeah. And my bedroom was in the attic then. So I've had a lie down, and it just felt like I was like suffocating. Like I could not breathe. It was just like at the end I was like, and I thought, I need to go and get my mum. So as I've gone to walk downstairs, I don't know what's happened. I must have passed out. But next thing, I'm in the car, and they're zooming me to the hospital, like my mum and stepdad. And I broke my sternum and punctured my lung. Fucking I didn't know that I'd done it. And I was in hospital, and I had all like air bubbles, and you could hear it, you could squeeze it, you go, and it was just. So obviously I couldn't play. Like they said, you can't play for a year.
A year.
A year, just because your lungs expand, and because of the obviously the hole in it, and it escaped. Then you've got all air around you. Your heart and everything, really.
Putting pressure on it.
Yeah.
When they told you that, what you thinking?
I just thought, fucking hell, that's it. That's me done. I'm never going to be a footballer. It's gutted. So I didn't do anything for 8 or 9 months. It was still sore to touch, but obviously the bone had hit. But like your sternum's a big bone, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I could get back running and training, and I felt like fit as anything, but to control a ball on my chest, it was still tender. And one of my mates had just joined the RAF, and he said to me, he was just like bragging about how good it was. I think he'd gone in as like an engineer, and he was a decent footballer, and he'd already been to like Italy and stuff like that playing football. And he was like, Gaz, join up in the RAF. He said, if you're good at sport, he said, you'll travel the world. So I was like, so then it got back to like, I could start abseiling down buildings here. So I thought maybe like the military, I can play football all around the world.
How old are you then?
19.
Yeah.
But I can still like be in the military and do, maybe go down that route. So I went to the careers thing at the RAF office, and he sat me down and he said, right, like he was looking at my CV, obviously Blackburn Rovers, professional football, all this kind of stuff. And he went, right, what do you want to be? I went, I want to be a gunner. He was like, what do you mean a gunner? So the gunner's like, it's like RAF regiment, so it's basically like cannon fodder, like you first in. And he was like, mate, you don't want to be a gunner. I was like, I do. And he's like, no, you don't. He said, like, you look like a fit lad. You're obviously very sporty and blah, blah. He said, have you thought about being a PTI, which is a physical training instructor? So they're the ones wearing a vest, like bollocking everybody, making them to do press-ups. And he said, you're basically like a PE teacher, but for the cadets, for the recruits. So I looked into it, and I thought, that's a well good job, decent money. So I joined up as a PTI. So I did my 10 weeks basic training, and I absolutely loved it. I flew through it. I was literally, if I can give anybody any advice who's joining up, if they tell you to do something, just do it. Like, don't question anything. Don't question why you're doing it. Don't question like the morality behind it or the sensibility. Like, they could ask you to run around that parade square in your underpants. Do you know what I mean? Just go and do it. Like, and that's all I did. So they'd say, Seddon, you buy your bed, do the. yes, Sergeant, bang, off. And I was fit as anything.
No,
and I just
didn't know that about you.
did you not? Yeah,
that,
absolutely loved it. So, and I was like, and by then you have to shave every day. So I still had really, really bad spots, but they weren't as big and as bold. Like when I was 17, 18, they were like big boils or like in my eyebrows. This was more like small, like rash kind of thing. But then you have to shave every day, even if you've got bum fluff, you've got to shave. Yeah, every morning, like 5 o'clock, up, shave, shower, mess for breakfast, get back, stood by your bed for inspection for 6. So, and I'm talking so your bed was here. You had to have hospital corners. You had to have all your blankets folded up into like, it looked like a video cassette, and you'd have like 4 or 5 different blankets that you'd folded up, tightened it all up, put it at the end of your bed. You got your number 2 shoes, all your hospital corners on your bed, and then you got your locker where you've got your number 1s, your number 2 uniform, all your PE stuff, like, and it had to be immaculate, down to a point where I used to shave my socks because you couldn't have no.
What?
We couldn't have any
little bubbles.
You know the bubbles on your socks.
Shut up.
Yeah, I swear to God, you have to shave your socks and then present them like that. And I used to find it really hard to get these like blankets perfect. It took me about a month to get it perfect. And when I did, I was like, fuck it. So I safety pinned it everywhere, and I just left it at the side of my bed. And when I went to bed, I just put a little tiny blanket on me because I was like you're going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning after you've done all your ironing and sewing and your days like marching and drilling and stuff. So like straight to sleep. I got up, shave, shower, cassette on my bed, like video recorder, stood by my bed, and I ended up becoming like hall monitor, if you will. So I was in charge of the whole hall. So it'd come down and say, Seddon, like, yes, Sergeant, make sure everyone's by the beds. I'll be there in 1 minute. Blah, blah. So I'll like go in, check all the rooms. So I'm stood by my bed, and he comes in. So when they come in, you go, room, attention, like everyone stands to attention, and then he'll come and inspect your lockers in your bed and stuff like that. And I go, right, Sergeant, this is recruit Smith or whatever, blah, blah, blah. This is recruit. So, and then he'd come and inspect me, and then he'd go, like it doesn't really touch anything. He'd just look at your bed, and then he'd like go through your locker, and he was like, excellent bed, Seddon, blah, 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 locker. Shit, that you had to have like literally iron lines down your everything, all your buckles polished, everything. So I had this video recorder thing that was like, obviously all the blankets, it was all pinned, and it was day after day after day, and he was like, excellent, Seddon, blah blah. It must have cottoned on, because one day he was like, Seddon, stand by your bed, get your room ready. I was like, room, attention. And he'd come and he said, right, everybody come to Seddon's bed. And I was like, fuck. So I'm like stood to attention like this. And he said, right, can everybody see the standard that I'm after? And I was like, yes, get in. And he was going through, and he said, look at this. And he picked the blankets up, and you could just see him, he just went and looked at me. He must have had it 100 times before. He just went, look at this. What a bag of shit. Went to the window, and we were on like the 3rd floor. It was fucking chucking down. It was October, muddy as hell. Just whizzed it out the window, and it just went and stayed exactly the same. And he went, right, Seddon, get your whole locker. I'd spent 6 weeks getting this locker immaculate. All my number 1 uniform, my shirts, everything. I had to take it all out, hang it out the window, and just drop it into the mud. And he was like, don't ever think you're fucking smarter than me, young man. And I was like, sorry, Sergeant, I just wanted like my bed to be. And he was like, right, get all that in the wash, cleaned, ironed by the morning. This was, so I had 24 hours. I still had to go and do my training during the day, but when I got back, so I never went bed. that night. I was up all night just ironing everything, putting it back in my locker. I think I managed to get about 15 minutes, and then I was like, oh my God, stood by your beds again.
What did it teach you, that lesson?
Just don't cut corners. Just basically don't cut corners. Like, just because something's like easy, or if something's hard, if you will, like don't try and cheat
the system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get up, and he basically explained it. He said, if you're at war or you're on duty away, he went, you're not going to like effing sleep in one sheet. He said, you've got that's your kit. Like, they're your blankets. You sleep is really important. Get down, have your sleep, get up, and spend the time to fold your blankets and look after your kit and present it by your bed. Don't be like effing cutting corners, sleeping in a sheet, and safety pinning you. Which I understand now, but at the time you think, okay, now I've done it, brilliant.
The system, and doing these things a bit quicker and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but we used to have a Polaroid as well. So like you could like take pictures, like he said, take pictures of everything. And by this stage, like we had like all this BA kit. You know, like we had to go in like a CS gas room, and you had to take it off, breathe it in, and then you had to say your name, your number. But it was a room full of CS gas, as you can imagine. As soon as you go, and you're spewing up, and you just can't get any words out. So we had all this stuff. So I obviously we had to clean it at night because it's full of CS gas. So I started putting it on and doing naked pictures. And then I sent him to the station commander. Obviously, I didn't know who it was because it was just a respirator on. I had no tattoos at this stage, just naked like this, stood in the shower like somebody took it, and I sent it in the post to the station commander. And it weren't to let it weren't
your rationale like?
I just thought he will laugh at this.
That didn't happen, did it?
No, well, I never got done for it, but when I passed out, it weren't until you pass out, so you have your passing out parade, and your mum and dad come, and you do all your rifle drills and all that stuff. It weren't until afterwards in the bar, they were like, love the picture. I was like, what picture? They were like, Gaz, we know it was you. And I was like, what would have happened? They said, we were just wetting ourselves. They said, it's up in the office. And I was like, really? But they loved me. They just liked me. I ended up getting best recruit. Yeah. So I won best recruit. One story. I nearly didn't pass out. It was about a week before. So we'd done like 10 weeks, and then your final week is just rehearsal for your passing out parade. So you've got your rifles, and you're all marching round in sequence, and you all come to attention, then you present arms, all that kind of stuff. So we're just practicing that drill after drill after drill, hours and hours. And you used to have to keep your sideburns like on level with the top of your ear. It looked ridiculous. It looked ridiculous. So I'd grown mine a little bit long, not like long.
This is where Jack the Lad started, isn't it?
Yeah,
in the army.
It is 100%. 100%. So I'd grown it a tiny bit, and it was about 3 days before we passed out, and we had what's called like the wing commander come. So he was like in charge of about 5 different stations. He was massively high up. So we had all our sergeants and corporals on the bandstand here, and we're in an aircraft hangar, and we're all in as number ones, like this, stood to attention with us. So like we've got like the butt of the rifle here, stood to attention like this, and we've been there about an hour, and he's there with, like your marching stick. He's probably like in his 60s, and I could just see him like coming up the line, like working his way up the line. I stood to attention, and he went, Seddon! Because like we used to have his names on his things. I was like, oh my God. And he come marching up. He went, you look like fucking Elvis with them sideburns. And for some reason, I went, thank you very much. As soon... But I did...
That is fucking
I did the whole neat... Thank you very much. And as soon as I did it, As soon as I did it, I thought, oh my God. He literally grabbed me, two-handed, threw me out the thing, sent the whole squad away, and I spent about 7 hours just doing drill, marching around the hangar. But again, it weren't till I passed out that all my sergeants and corporals were like, it's the funniest thing we have ever seen. Yeah.
You have the moments, though, don't you? You think, I can say this here and it's not going to be good, but you can't stop yourself
I
to
just
say
did it. I don't, just because I've been stood there for an hour and like your mind wanders and I probably weren't thinking like the seriousness of everything. It would just happen. I just went, thank you very much. I was like, oh my God.
I can't believe you were a joker at school. That's what like baffles my head.
Yeah, no, not really.
Because you are born to be a joker.
Yeah.
And it mad that.
Quite shy at school. I was really small and skinny and like lightweight. Yeah.
Was there a point in when you were in the army, you just thinking, look, I don't want to be doing this?
Well,
is that where you start joking around because you knew that that's not where you're meant to be?
No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it in the RAF. And then I went, so after your basic training, you go to your trade training. So I did 18 months learning to be a PTI. So you literally, you take every national sport, so tennis, badminton, squash, rugby, netball, volleyball, football, hockey, swimming, and you learn how to play it to like a good level because like you do your drills every day and then you learn how to teach it because you've got to teach it to the recruits.
All of them?
Every single sport, and then you've got to do a manual on it as well. So we might spend 6 weeks on tennis and it might be like by the end of it you're fucking brilliant. You spend every day 5 or 6 hours a day playing tennis, then you'll move on to squash, volleyball, and I was like, you was good at every sport, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. But at the weekends I was playing football as well, and you got to remember how fit I would have been. Like we were doing runs, we were doing like 2, 3, 4 mile runs 2-3 times a day. So the weekend I was playing semi-pro, so I was playing for Telford, and I scored.
How did you get that then when you were playing for the army? How did Telford get in touch with you?
So I was based at Cosford, which is Wolverhampton, and Telford's like 2 mile away.
How do they know about you?
I think they must have it over the years where they have army lads and RAF lads playing for the team. So it was only like semi-pro. So I asked permission from the RAF whether I could go and play for them. So I used to train Tuesday night, Thursday night, and then play on a Saturday because we used to get the weekends off anyway. So I scored 16 in 18, and I had loads of clubs like looking for me. Then I got picked for the RAF team, so the whole RAF. So imagine how many hundreds of thousands of lads. I got picked for the RAF team, and then before I were 21, I got picked for the Combined Services, which is the Army, Air Force, and Navy. All their lads play for one team, the Combined Services, and I got picked for that. And I was captain, and I was just.
Who are you playing against?
So we'd play against like national teams, play against Cyprus and Macedonia, and people like that. It was brilliant. And I was fucking skinning them and against national players, and I was just like, because I was so fit.
Was you say you was a next level in terms of quality as well?
I think I would just when I got to that stage, like if you watch any of my goals, I'm not a skillful player. I was really quick and powerful. So like I'd come short and then a ball would be over the top and I'd burst through and bang. Like a good finisher. I was never one to like take 2 or 3 players on. It was all, I never really had like much. Like I can do skills, but I was never one. You know, like how Messi dinks in and out. I was never that. I was like bang, bang, bang.
Get into your position, just finish it. See it away.
Yeah.
You're living the dream here, aren't you?
Much, in the RAF, it was brilliant. So I had loads of clubs after me.
Are you thinking to yourself, look, I might get pro here? Everyone
were telling me, like, what are you doing in the RAF? Like, you need to go and play football.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, I'm loving my job at the minute. I was on 25 grand a year as a PTI. I was getting £400 or £500 a week playing for Telford. I was like, it was easy. I was like, I was fit as anything.
Spots have gone.
I was living on camp with about 300 birds, nailing Central. It was brilliant lifestyle. But obviously, I always had it in me that I wanted to be.
Yeah, that was always been you.
Always wanted to be a footballer, yeah. And then, so I got picked for the combined services. We went to Thailand. We went building an orphanage, and then we played the Thailand national team, and then we played the Thailand army team as well.
It can't get much better than that, does it?
No, it was brilliant. So I went away. Went 2 weeks, but in the last few days before we came back, I got really ill. I've had like food poisoning, and it was that bad where I was like hallucinating in the room. Somebody came. I ended up on a drip, and they had to put me in first class on the way home because I was on a drip because I was that bad. Just everything was like coming away from me. And when I came home, I was ill for about 10 days, and then I got over it. Then Everton bought me out the RAF. So I went into Everton for a month. Like the RAF let me go to Everton for a month, training every day. Paul Gascoigne, Campbell,
Ferguson,
Duncan Ferguson. I stayed at the same hotel as Duncan Ferguson. He took me on the piss one night after a reserve game. So then they paid, I think, 10 grand. They bought me out the RAF, like out of my contract. So I went to Everton, and then Everton used to play against like Man United reserves and stuff like that. So I was only in the reserves at this stage, and they played against Man United reserves at Gig Lane, because that's where Man United used to play their game, which is where Bury play.
Yeah.
The manager of Bury was watching. I scored a couple. He asked to take me. I ended up signing for Bury because I knew I was never going to make it at Everton. I was training with like Ferguson and Campbell and Franny Jeffers and all those people like that, and I just thought, I'm not as good as you. I just knew I weren't at that elite level, but I could definitely go and play League One for Bury. And the manager was like, you come sign for me, and I was only just gone 21 and a half, and he was saying, you'll come and play every week in my team.
So at that time at Everton, then that's when Gascoigne was there, because it was sort of a bit of a dummy signing, really, wasn't it? Because it was at the tail end.
Yeah.
What was that like being there after you'd bought that book that taught you to be a footballer?
The first week that I went, he was there, and I was just like in awe of him. He didn't train that much, and then I didn't see him for about 4 months because he ended up going to, I think it was the Priory, so he went in rehab. Yeah. But there was one bit where I went in the shower, and Franny Jeffers was in the shower. I was just having a chat to him, and he was like, how you doing? Are you enjoying it? I said, yeah. I said, I've fucking no chance, never going to get in this team now. And he's like, why not? Like, you're doing all right. And I'm like, I said, look, you've got you, Phil Jevons, and I named about 5 or 6 like strikers who played like international and stuff like that. And I said, I'm nowhere near. I know I'm not. And he went, well, I'm leaving soon. And I was like, oh yeah? He said, yeah. He said, I've signed a pre-contract for Arsenal. Remember, he went to Arsenal. And that was in the shower, he told me. I was like, fucking hell. So me being me, I like rang my stepbrother. I was like, get a bet on Franny Jeffers going to Arsenal. So I ended up leaving Everton and going to Bury. And that was it. I remember first time I ever played, and you walk into the dressing room, I was picked. We played Tranmere away, and it was about 12,500 on, which at Tranmere was pretty good. I remember just walking into the changing room. It was the first time I'd ever seen my name on the back of my shirt.
Really?
Well, hanging and waiting for you.
Yeah, Seddon. I was Seddon number 9. I was like, oh my god, like that's
it.
That's what. That was a dream, and I was 20, nearly 22, I think. Yeah, and I remember I was that nervous. We won kick-off. You flip the coin, and I remember a little bit of weed dribbling out as I was taking the centre, because I was that nervous.
That's mint out, mate.
Yeah, it was class. So that was it then, professional footballer, left the RAF, professional footballer.
That's a dream for any striker, to be a number 9 as well, isn't it?
That was the thing, yeah. I was like, Alan Shearer, number 9. I was like, number 9. Played that whole season, finished top goal scorer. started the next season, and I started with like a bit of a sore back, just like out of nowhere, like just all my spine and the joints at the bottom of my back were just really sore, and it got to a point where I couldn't get out of a chair. I couldn't like lift my neck because I had like really bad sciatica going down my legs, and I didn't play the whole season. I missed 10 months. Nobody knew what was wrong. I was having like chiropractors. I was having like steroid injections into my sacroiliac joints, and it just nothing was like curing it. And then within about 2 weeks, just went. I was like back running. I thought, right, got like a second chance. Worked
for
my
no
arse
reason.
off.
He just
no reason, just went. Just all of a sudden, I thought, oh, it's getting easier. And within about 2 weeks, I was back running, sprinting, playing football. Went back down the boxing gym. I was like, right, whatever it were, it's like it's gone. I'm getting super fit.
I remember you telling me this now. Right, go on.
Then come back for the next season, finished top goal scorer again. I was flying, gonna go to Wigan for 250 grand.
Really?
Yeah. Then Berry went into administration, and said, look, we're gonna have to sell you. But I'd just come back from holiday. I'd been like running on the beach, and my knee was a bit sore. So I went to see the physio, and he was like, oh, it's swollen. So like he was like touching it on the side, and it was really tender. He said, oh, I think you've like damaged your cartilage. You're gonna have to have like a bit of a minor op in the summer. So I had to put the move to Wigan. I was like, well, I can't, like, obviously like they put it on hold. They weren't going to sign. So then I had like a little like clean-up op in the summer.
Was it cartilage?
No, well, I found out it weren't, no. But it like, if you go into anyone's knee, there'll be bits of like crap and stuff floating around. So they washed it out and injected it and stuff like that, and they thought that was it. So then, just before the season was about to start, so I'd done all like pre-season, and it was really sore, just kept like niggling me. Anyway, Rushton Diamonds came in, bought me for, I think, 85 grand, and obviously Berry snapped their hand off because of the administration. So I went down there. The first day, we were running around a track, and my knee was just like getting worse and worse and worse. It just ballooned up. And then from that day, never played for nearly 3 years. Just horrible.
You didn't know what was going on for 3 years?
I didn't know what was going on for nearly 2 years. I end up, so...
What age were you then?
So I was 24, nearly 25.
So coming into the prime of your career.
And I was flying the year before as well. Finished, like I say, top goal scorer. I was in League One. And then my knee just kept ballooning up. Then my shoulders, then my hands would swell up. It was just weird. I was being sick all the time. And then I spent close to probably 18 months going for tests. I went for bone cancer, leukemia, HIV, anything you can think of. I went for tests. And I remember that Christmas, so this was like July, that Christmas, I told my mum that my knee was still really, like, I just told my mum it was my knee. So I said I couldn't come home at Christmas because I was having like another little op on my knee. Obviously I didn't tell her, but on Boxing Day I was going for a test for leukemia, so I obviously had to stay down, so I didn't tell my mum. And the other two lads who I lived with...
Who were you with? Just mates?
We were like teammates. We all lived, the three of us lived in the same house.
But obviously you're going through this on your own.
And every day I was like going in for physio, and I was trying to do like stuff on the rowers and stuff like that, which was like keeping me off my legs. But then all my hands would swell up and my elbows, and then I'd start being sick and just weird. Then... So Christmas Day, the other two lads had gone home. Obviously, no one's in training. So I remember sat there and I had a microwave meal all ready, and then the fucking electric meter ran out. So all the electrics went off, and no shops are open, so don't get a lecky card. I remember just sat there, just busting into tears. I obviously didn't ring anyone, didn't ring my mum or dad. Bust into tears, and I was just thinking, fucking, I'm dying. That's what I thought.
Fucking wrong.
Yeah, it was bad. It was probably the toughest time of my life ever.
But you're on your own as well.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day as well.
Silence.
Yeah, I just didn't want anyone to worry.
Did you tell your teammates what were going on, or were you kind of putting your brave face on?
Yeah, they knew something was up, but it was just weird. Like nobody had a clue what was wrong. Like they were, and I know it's horrible to say, but it came to a point where I wanted them to diagnose me with like cancer or something. At least I knew. It was the not knowing what was wrong, and I honestly thought I was dying, or I was in that bad. I'd gone down to about 7.5 stone by the end of it. So at Christmas I weren't, but by the end of the season, couldn't keep anything down. I had blood coming out my urine and all sorts. Yeah, it was really bad.
Jesus. Fucking hell, mate.
Bad.
It's
yeah.
Major,
and then I ended up. I got help from the PFA because the club was like, he's fucking been injured a year now. We haven't got a clue. I must have had 30, 40 tests, and they ended up going to see a rheumatologist in Bath. And my stepdad, obviously by this time the club had contacted my parents in about February, March. So this was like May, June. So my stepdad come down with me to Bath, and the PFA are like paying for everything now because the club couldn't afford to keep paying for stuff. So I went to see this guy, and he was like world specialist. I think to see him was like £2,000 an hour or something like that. It was, yeah. And my stepdad, he was sat here next to me, and the guys there. My stepdad said, right, Gareth obviously been through a lot. He's had every test, like what makes you any different? And he said, if Gareth was David Beckham, he'd be here. If David Beckham was Gareth, he'd be here with me. He said, I'm the top guy. So my stepdad was like, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I ended up having had some blood tests, and he said, I'm going to check for this. It's called a BLA 27. It's like some kind of chromosome thing. And he said, I'm going to check for this. Anyway, check for it. He said, if you come back and you've got it, I think I know what it is. Anyway, I come back and I had it, and it's a link to Crohn's disease. But instead of Crohn's, where mine's like where Crohn's is like physiological, where it like it's all your intestines and stuff, like mine's linked to my immune system. So it was my own body attacking itself. And he described it to me as, when I went to Thailand and I got that food poisoning, it was actually jungle fever that I got, and I didn't realise I had it. What it does, you can have stuff that lie dormant in your system, and if you take antibiotics, you don't finish a course, they can mutilate, can't they, into something else. Well, this had mutilated into something else, and it triggered my immune system to attack itself every time you secrete synovial fluid. So any kind of movement in your synovial joints, you have synovial fluid, like it's like an oil to and every time my body secreted that, my immune system didn't recognise it and used to attack it. So every time I moved or did anything, it attacked the synovial fluid, and that's what made me swell up. And I went for what's called they put like an ink in your system. It's like a dye, and then what they do, they put you under like an MRI thing. And a normal person would have, like he explained, maybe 8 to 10 hot spots in your body where you've got like a little bit of like heatness on your joints, and like what's it called when you take like ibuprofen because you I'm aching there. And well, I had 87 all inside my vertebrae, my spine, all inside my hips, my joints and my hands, all like really bad in my knees and stuff. And that was because my body was just constantly attacking the synovial fluid, which was like surrounding the joints and the heads of stuff. So he basically said, you're going to have to give up football. He said, you'll never play football again.
What are you
I was
thinking?
like, fuck, again.
Yeah, it's the second time.
Yeah, and I was just like, but I was more relieved that he knew what it was. And I said, is it curable? He said, it's your own body. He said it could take 6 months, it could take 60 years. He said, but it will eventually sort itself out.
Jungle fever.
I didn't even know that was a real thing, mate.
Yeah, I've heard it before.
I think it's cut. Yeah, it's not. It's kind of a. I think it's linked to. It's like malaria and stuff like. They can. Oh, it's jungle fever. They call it stuff like that. But yeah, it's like a lot of stuff can come from food poisoning because it's your intestines and your digestive system, and it's all linked to
your gut. Yeah,
your gut and your nerve. Yeah, it's weird. So he said to me, "So you're gonna have to give up football." He said, "You need to give your body a total rest. Like you can't do anything." So I had to, like, the PFA sign me off, and what happens then? You get like an insurance. So I got 30 grand, which is I was on more than that a year. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I got 30 grand. I went back home, and for literally about a year I couldn't do anything. Every time I tried to do something, even work and like pick stuff up, it was like I had rheumatoid arthritis. Like I couldn't. There were some days where I'd done stuff, and then I couldn't hold my knife and fork to like eat my tea because my hands had swelled up and they were burning pain. And because it was my immune system, that's what was making me sick all the time, because you got like inflammation in your blood, and when you eat, all your blood goes to your stomach to digest your food, and because there was so much inflammation in it, it was just making me throw up. So by the end of not doing nothing for another year, this had been like 2.5 years.
What, are you suffering with depression at this point, or what's?
No, not really. No, I had anger issues.
Did you?
Yeah. I'd have like nights out. I got arrested a few times, scrapping, and just because I felt people were like, "Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad it's happened to him." You know, like instead of like going, "Oh mate, I'm gutted for you." Because Burnley and like Paddingham's quite a small town. I think they were happy that I was back home, and I hadn't.
Small town syndrome.
Yeah. So people would like give digs at me, and like say, "Oh, who the fuck did you think you were anyway?" And And I just had this anger, like, who are you fucking speaking to? And then it just erupted, and then we ended up scrapping, and I got bottled, top of my head, one under my chin another time, got arrested over Christmas, and just because I just lost. I didn't know what I would do with my life. I didn't know what I'd ever do, because I was thinking, this fucking thing's like, I had no direction, nothing. I didn't know what job I was going to do. I knew I'd never play football, and then. Have you ever told us about this before, Gaz? Like, got into like the life story of it? No, not really. I've talked about this bits but not people. Not in a like someone, like someone approached me about like doing a book. Yeah, you should definitely do a book, right? I think it'd be pretty good, yeah. So I just didn't know where I was going, and then just gradually over time, I just started to feel better. Went back down the boxing gym. How old are you? 27, 20, nearly 28. Started down the boxing gym. I'd train for like 20, 25 minutes, and then I'd be in really bad pain. Then 20 minutes, then gradually it got like 25 minutes, 30 minutes until, you know. What are you doing for work? Working at a factory, making boilers. Yeah. I had
a professional footballer to.
I had 47 seconds for a boiler to come down on my line. I had the gas. I was putting the gas valves in, so I'd like pass it on. 47 seconds. Next one. Fucking hated it. But you know, we talked about the gambling before. Yeah. Where did that come into it? Did that come at that same time? No, later on. Right, we'll leave that till a bit later, mate. So I just started to feel better, training, got more and more training until I was like training pain-free. Even afterwards, like I trained for an hour, boxing, sparring, everything. I felt fine. I had to keep going for tests every, I think it was 10 weeks or 12 weeks. Could you have died if it carried on? If it not got no, I don't think so. No. It's just like debilitating. Right. Okay. I kept having and what they do, they check for the inflammation levels in your blood, and he gradually over time he was like, it's going down, it's going, and then just before I might have been 28, and I went for about 3 tests over about a month, and he said it looks like it's cleared from your system, and he explained it as in, you can't get the same cold twice because your body builds an immune system for that next one. Basically does exactly the same. Once your body sorts this thing out, you'll never get an attack again, because your body gets the antibodies and goes back into sync.
Was that your darkest time of your life?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Mad, yeah. But I say I'm never like depressive. I've never like that. I never thought, why me and stuff like that. I just wanted it over with so I could crack on with doing something.
The Christmas Day thing was bad. That was like a defining moment. I'm just like, fucking hell.
I just thought I was dying. I thought I was going to be. Yeah, I truthfully thought I was going to be dead.
So
I thought I was going
to. So on the other side of it, thinking.
Yeah, so I got training again, and I just thought, I want to be a footballer. I'm not having it snatched away from me so early on, and I suppose I went back to when I was like that. Yeah. 9-10-year-old kid. Yeah. Went back down. I was training. I was like down the boxing gym 5 days a week in the gym, and then Padiham, which is my local town, they have like a football team that plays in like really low level, like Northwest County. I think they get like 20 quid a game. Just said to the manager, let me come and play like last few games of the season. I think there was like 10 games, and I remember I came on, played about 20 minutes, didn't score but got a chance, and then the next game I started and I scored 18 in 9 games, and I was like, just because, not because I was better than everybody else, just because I was 100 times fitter. Do you know what I mean? I was that determined. Like some of them would turn up hungover. I'd turn up. I'd probably.
That was my football career.
Yeah. But it's like everyone to their own. But I could see a goal where I wanted to get back. And then end of that season, I never stopped training. Trained the whole summer. Pre-season, I joined Hyde United. Hyde United were in the Conference North. The manager, so the assistant manager was a guy called Tony Ellis, used to play for Burnley and stuff like that. He knew me. He said, Gaz, come down pre-season, see how you get on. Came down pre-season and I was flying. He said, look, start the season, we'll offer you a contract. I scored 9 in 9. They offered me, I think, 450 quid a week. It was only part-time. That season I finished with 42 goals, and then I got picked for the non-league England side.
Really?
Yeah, so I got picked for the England side. Played a tournament in the summer. It was England, Scotland, Ireland and Wales. I played 3 games, scored 4, got player of the tournament. Came back to Hyde, second season, scored 35.
Obviously you've given up your boiler job.
Yeah, I've given up my boiler job now, yeah. I was working as a personal trainer, so I was working in a gym.
Yeah.
So I was keeping fit every day, playing football, and then end of the second season, so I'd scored 70 odd goals in like 80 games. They then sold me to Kettering. Kettering were in the league above, but they were full time.
How far's Kettering away? Did you have to move?
So this is the weird bit, right? Kettering is a mile away from Rushden and Diamonds.
Really?
So I lived 2 streets away from where I was sat there at Christmas with no lights on. And this is
fucking hell.
That's mental.
3 years later, 3 Christmases on from that day, and I'm back, professional football, scoring, been picked for England, full-time training. I could never go back in the Football League because you have to give your money back.
Yeah.
But I'd signed, but it was in the National League, so at the conference, full-time, I was on 850 quid a week, back playing football.
Was there a moment where you sat down and thought about that? Or is it only now that you're older that you're actually going back thinking about it?
I remember there was a moment where there's I can't remember the river called, it might be River Wye or something like that. No, River Neen. So I like me fishing. And I remember walking down the river, been fishing, and I walked up onto the bridge. I didn't realise the house was looking right at me. And I was just like, fucking hell. And I put my fishing gear at the side, and I went and walked. It was only about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I remember I looked through the window, and I could see like the living room. I was like, oh my God. I thought that's the place where I thought I was dying. And then I'm here fishing and back playing football.
That's a cathartic moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it was good.
Mm.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. Yeah. So that was it. And then I just kind of, I think ever since then, I think things that I've gone through, ever since then, you just think, what's the point of fucking moaning about things in life? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, I'm so lucky to come back and have what I've had. Like everyone says, oh, you must be gutted what happened to you.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's probably made me the person that I am.
Yeah.
And if I'd have made it at Blackburn Rovers when I was 18, I wouldn't be sat here now. I'd probably be a bit of a twat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's character building.
Of course it is, yeah. And
right?
I think I can pass that on to my children as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like my children will never grow up not appreciating things that they've got.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They'll never be spoiled. They'll never be brats. They'll never look down on anybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They'll never take the piss out of other people who don't have stuff or have any disability or stuff like that. They'll grow up to be nice, polite, friendly.
Quality, mate.
Yeah. And that's
Love that.
and I think I can only do that because of the stuff that I've been through. And I said that to my missus. I said, like, I am the person I am because of all the shit that I've been through. And I'm glad that I went through it because I must admit I'm quite happy with the person that I am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000,000%, mate.
Yeah.
There's a reason we work with you all the time, isn't there?
I suppose so,
and it's because of that, mate, because of the character that you've sort of made out for yourself.
But I just want to just get on with everybody.
Yeah.
I don't want to wake up and think, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, or why does he have that? Fucking hell, like who cares? Who cares? I'm happy with what I've got. I've got 2 lovely children. I've got a house over my, home over my head, and you just got to appreciate what you've got, haven't you? It soon can be taken away.
So, Kettering.
So Kettering, yeah. So I finished that season. So we ended up. It was brilliant. So we played in the first round of the FA Cup, which was live on TV, live on Sky. I scored the winning goal. Got through to the second round, live on Sky. Scored the winning goal. Third round, they got us on Sky again because we was the only non-league side. We got drawn against the only other non-league side. So, in the third round, that's when the big boys come in, Man United, and we got drawn against the only other non-league side. So it was like, how's your luck?
Yeah.
You know when you're doing that and these things are happening, and obviously, are you thinking to yourself, look, I'm not taking this for granted because of the shit I've been through? You've got your feet firmly on the ground, knowing that, you know what I mean, it can be taken away at any point.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, because I thought, you have to enjoy these kind of moments, because it's been taken away from me so quickly. And I always had in the back of my mind, like, what if it comes back?
Yeah.
I did, honestly, I always used to think that. Yeah. And we played in the third round, we got the winning goal again, then we drew Fulham in the fourth round, and I'd been on Sky TV. They come to interview me at my house, and I was just like, fucking hell, this is unbelievable from where I were 2.5.
And what season was this? Do you remember?
So I was then 29, 30.
So about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So 09 season then, 08, 09. Oh, 09 or 10, wasn't it?
09
so they were a good team then as well.
Fulham,
Premier League.
Yeah, Premier League. Bobby Zamora played for him. Yeah. So we were drawing 2-2, and was it 0-0? No, 2-2 I think. And then Bobby Zamora came on,
right,
and scored 2 in 2 minutes.
Really?
They had a full. They had Danny Murphy playing for him. Was it Konchesky? Konchesky, the left back with the bald head.
I'm trying to think of their team now.
Yeah, they had a really good side.
Maybe Zamora was good at that point though. Was that before he'd been
brilliant.
at QPR, or did he go there afterwards?
Afterwards, yeah.
Because he was really good at it.
I think he went to West Ham not long after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a really good side. But I had all this like TV attention. It was brilliant. But then I found out that a girl who had been dating, she was pregnant, and she lived up in Manchester. So the start of the next season, I had to put a transfer request in. I just said to the manager, we'd finished fourth in the league. I'd finished top goal scorer in the league. And I was like, I'm really sorry. He's like, it's one of them things, I understand. Because I knew I was having a baby. I didn't want to be living miles away from her. Yeah. So yeah, I was 30. So I put in a transfer request, and then that's when they sold me to Fleetwood. So I moved back home to Manchester, started playing for Fleetwood.
Is that when Vardy was there?
And that's when Vardy come.
Yeah.
Which is another unbelievable story.
Well, he's mental that he's gone on and won the Premier League now with Leicester as well. And played for England.
Yeah. Well, me and him in that season, we played 40 odd games together. We won the league by about 10 points or something. We got 116 points, I think we did. So amazing like that. Obviously, the team went up to League Two, but I couldn't go with them because obviously my retirement. So once you retire from the league, you can't go back into the league.
What do you mean?
Because of the
PFA rules. So because I'd retired all them years ago, I've won the National League.
You can't get that back.
No.
Could you not go back up there if you return the money?
You got to return the money yourself, but I ain't got 30 grand to get. And as well, I was 30 by then, 31 when we won the league. So even though I've got a few years more to go, the club weren't going to pay 30 grand plus go up and then pay my wages as well. It worked out about somewhere 100 grand or something.
Yeah. So which is a lot of money back then. Well, it is now at that level, isn't it? So.
Especially for a 31-year-old.
Yeah.
And I was quite happy, like staying in the National League, because then I ended up going to Halifax, and they paid me round about £800-900 a week anyway. So
it's a decent screw on that.
Are they giving you money for scoring as well?
Yeah. Not much. So the Halifax thing. So the reason why I left. This was saying about the goals before. So I signed a contract because they were desperate to sign me. So they offered me I think it was about £800 a week, and then they offered me if I got goals per
season.
Money per goal, but goals if I got to 20 goals, I got £2 grand, but then if I reached 30 goals, they made it up to 10. So we were in March, firmly in the playoffs. We couldn't drop out of the playoffs. We had six or seven games left. I was on 24 goals. I got dropped. I didn't play again. 24 goals, and they didn't pay me for my £2 grand when I reached 20 in the first place. Because one of the reasons were they didn't want to go up either, because they
couldn't compete if they
had to pay loads for the stadium and if you go up a league because they would have got into the league, they couldn't afford to do it. So they were like, fucking hell, what happens if he scores another 6 goals? So I didn't play. So I had a massive falling out with the manager. I was like, you shouldn't offer me that if you can't. It just really wound me up. I felt like they were stopping me from playing again. Yeah. And I was thinking, I'm 32-year-old coming to the end of my career, and you're stopping me from reaching 30 goals.
What did you do?
I had a massive fallout in the dressing room with the manager in front of everyone. I just said, you're a fucking liar. You're a coward. I was like, if you got anything about you, you wouldn't listen to you'd play me out of respect. And he's like, it's nothing to do with that. It's your lack of form. I was like, lack of form? Fucking scored 24 goals.
So obviously he's had a conversation with the owners.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So come to the end of the season, I said, I'll never play for you again. I had another year left. So they paid me up my year. Well, let's just say they owed me 40 grand, they paid me 12 grand. of my wage. So and then I went to Chester, played for Chester.
What was the deal with Chester?
Yeah, so I was a free agent then, so I was a free player. So Chester.
What does that mean?
So it just means you're not under contract. So you're not signed by anyone.
Contract,
so,
anybody can just sign.
Anybody can sign, if they offer you a deal.
Right.
Yeah, so Chester contacted me, offered me a deal. I signed for Chester. Made me captain, which was brilliant. So I was captain for Chester. We played like Wrexham and stuff like that.
So what league was that?
In the National League.
Yeah, it's the same.
But we had a really we really struggled that season. Like we only just escaped relegation. But one of the good things is that we played. I can't even remember the team now. I think it was Dover. So they were fourth from bottom, and we were fifth from bottom. Whoever won would have dropped down into the relegation, and they would have gone down. So there were only about 2 games left of the season, and they played it live on Sky as like a relegation battle, and you can see it on YouTube, 0-0, and then a ball comes over the top, and I let it bounce, and I'm miles out, I let it bounce and just volley it, and it goes right in top bin, and we win 1-0 on telly again. I was like, honestly, since I come back after my illness, everything that I hit, or like, just went in. I kind of think it was like somebody looking down at me going, right, you've had all this shit, I'm going to give you some good stuff now.
That'd be the jungle fever, that.
Yeah. So so end up a bit of a hero then after that, and then...
Like, so how old are you there? 33, 34?
33, by the end of that season.
And are you feeling at this point, are you feeling like you're slowing down? Are you feeling...
No, not really, no.
And do you think that was parting because you had that
I've been off so long, yeah.
Because that's what you're sort of saying about Vardy, aren't they? Because if he played at a lower level for so long and only just gone up, there's not as much wear and tear going on with him. So, because he's...
Yeah, and as well, you kind of think... I think same with Vardy, you appreciate it a little bit more as well. If you've been in like an academy system since you were like 10-year-old, and by the time you get into 32, 33, you're kind of like, I've had enough of this. Your bodies may not be as good as it were. So like people are ready to retire, whereas lads who don't come into it late, they want to play for as long as they can, and they'll probably not feel them little niggles as much as the other guys, so they work through it and probably look after the bodies a bit better maybe. So I still felt really good, and then obviously that's when end of that season Chester offered me another year, and then I was 34 then, and then I got the phone call from Gary Neville.
Oh, you've told us about this.
Yeah.
You're going to have to tell the story now, because...
It was just a weird one. I was sat at home on a Sunday, and my phone went, it's come up like no caller ID. My first instinct was like, fucking telesales on a Sunday. So I was like, hello.
But you was watching Super Sunday at the time, was you?
I was watching, I can't remember what game I was. But I don't think Gary was on it. Or he might have finished or something like that. And I was like, hello. I was like, hi Gareth, it's Gary Neville here. I was like, all right, good one. Didn't even finish his sentence. He was like, no, Gareth, it's Gary. I was like, yeah, okay. So I'm like, to my missus, one of the lads here on phone. So I'm like, oh, go on then, Gary. And at first, because I didn't think it was him, I was like, go on then, how much are you going to offer me? He's like, well, do you want to know about the club? I was like, no, go on, just tell us your best deal. Just like, and he was like, but then suddenly I thought, oh my God, it is him. Like, you recognise his voice.
Just twigged.
I was like, Gary? He's like, yeah. I was like, right, okay, it is you, isn't it? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm really sorry. I thought it was like a prank call. I was like, right, go on. Explain to me what
the club's about.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Yeah, and then he just told me all about like the guys that bought Salford and what they wanted to do. And he said, look, I've known you ever since you was at Bury, because obviously his mum and dad worked at Bury, and they're Bury fans, aren't they? So he said, I want an experienced striker who's going to come in, who's going to like lift all the lads, give them like a bit of a inspiration. And he said, and like I need somebody to score some goals as well.
Did he bring you in as captain?
No. Just brought me in as, he wanted me to like look after the dressing room, kind of be like
a senior,
model pro,
a senior figure,
like a PTI.
Yeah. And on So this shouldn't really say this, but the first time that I come into the dressing room, so he's got me in as this like figurehead, inspirational ex-pro, older head. As I've walked into the dressing room, Gary and Nicky Butt are in the far room, in the far side of the change room. The manager, which was Phil Power at the time, and then all the lads are sat here. And I'd come in, not a little bit late, but they're all already sat in.
Get late.
So as I've walked in, I've like shut the door behind me, and I'm stood like this, and there was a young goalkeeper here, I'm talking 18 maybe, and he sat, so I'm like here, he sat at like waist level, right? So I've got my tracksuit on, so like, and there's a light switch here, so the manager starts to talk, and for some reason, I flicked the light switch off, dropped my pants, got his head, flicked it back on, I went, oh, it's not what it looks like! And I've got the whole changing room's erupted. I've just looked over, and them two lads, like Gary and Nicky, going,
you're the marquee signing.
I'm the marquee signing. And I've got this young lad's head going, it's not what it looks like. So, but that was it. That
was the Elvis moment again.
It is, just like I was thinking, because I was thinking, oh, shit, all eyes are on me. Like, how can I like?
You've got to come in and make a thing.
Yeah. So I was like,
anything else but that.
But that was it. Everyone was like, that was it. Then I went round, like, shook everyone's hand, and everyone just, it was brilliant. The atmosphere was brilliant. The manager was like, fucking hell, Seds. He's like, you're supposed to be my like leader. He's like, you can't be doing that. I was like, I promise I won't do it again. But he was like, funny though, mate, funny.
Well, that was weird, I think, because it would have been 12 months after this when the documentary came out, so the League of Their Own. Yeah. And I was hungover or something on Sunday. I ended up watching it. It was a 2-parter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I ended up sitting there and watching it, and then I come in work the next week, and I get a call sheet dumped in front of me for was it Redfoot?
Yeah, it was Redfoot.
Goodman Smith, someone like that.
Yeah.
So the first time I all worked together, and I opened up the call sheet, and I'm looking at this photo of you, and I'm going, nah, it can't be. Like, I'm thinking, there's no way. But then it twigged, because in the documentary there was something about you going away for modelling.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at that, and I was like, and I come into you, didn't I? I was like, I'm sure, like, I've just watched this guy in a Salford documentary. And I ended up pulling up, didn't I? And I was like, it's him, innit? And then I remember speaking to you on the shoot, and I think you was in your second season then.
Right, okay.
Where they were sort of going, and you weren't playing as much then.
How did you get into the modelling bit?
Well, that was just a weird thing. And I think that's why I don't take that too seriously. Cause,
we know that, Gaz.
Yeah. But I don't actually think I deserve to be a model at as much work that I've done. Because I think I don't picture myself as like a spotty teenager, but do you know what I mean? I kind of think like, fucking, I'm lucky to get
but
into
with you,
that.
Gaz, like, and I'm not saying this because you're on this, mate, but you are the best model that I work with.
Cheers, pal.
No, I'm being serious. Because like you've got so much character about you, and you don't take life too serious and stuff like that. And I know I'm going to get the best out of you because I know every shot's going to be natural, and that's what I'm looking for, and that's what everyone looks for. Well, that's work with you.
I don't take myself too seriously, and that's not because I'm taking the piss on a shoot. Because I've messaged you hundreds of times. I really appreciate like
mate, I get it.
It's just because like I want to do a great job for whoever I'm doing it with, but I understand like I'm really lucky to be asked. So I'm not snooty. I'm not walking around saying, oh, I don't like that shot and put this in, and I just think, fucking hell, I'm working for you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm meant to be doing a good job for you, and you're paying me. You know what I mean? It's like it's a massive privilege to be here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, mate, I get it. I get it. But what we love about work is you turn up as yourself, and you're not anything else. You know what I mean? I know that when I'm doing a shoot, that's what we're getting. We're getting Gaz Seddon full on. Yeah. And there's a lot to be said for that, mate.
Yeah, because there is sometimes when you work with models, and it's like you know you're working with a model because of the way they act or whoever they are. There might be a bit of ego there. There's a bit.
But there's a lot of ego, and people bring the ego to the sets. That's what we like working with you. We get none of that. We get such a good job at the end of it.
Because then I could come to you and say, "Oh, we want this, Gaz," and you go, "Yeah, cool," and then you'll run it back with me, and then we're like, "Right, yeah, we know we're getting that then," and we just understand what we're going to get, don't we? At the end of it.
And I don't mind if someone comes back and goes, "That were crap," or "You done this wrong," or "You look minging there, like do this." Like, no problem.
But that's your calling, doing the acting and TV presenting and stuff like that. It's just not been presented to you yet. But
Well, you've got into it a little bit, haven't you, with the sort of non-league stuff on BT?
I think it's big's coming your way, me, in that. And I mean, massive. It's just a matter of time.
Fingers crossed.
You don't need to cross your fingers, Gaz. I'm telling you now. Telling you. So you're at Salford.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's go
back
to
the Salford. And obviously there's a lot of pressure on me because I'm 34 now. 34, nearly 35. They brought me in to score a lot of goals. And to be fair, I did really well that first season. Scored 30 odd goals. Scored a hat-trick on me first game. On my debut, so
are they filming it at this point? Are they?
Yeah. So hold on.
Right from the off when you brought you in.
Yeah. So they kind of said to me, I would just like I say, just being myself, dicking around the thing, and there were cameras in. And said, like everyone said, just ignore the cameras. They're just filming this documentary. Then after probably about a month, they pulled me to one side and said, look, there's a couple of players who we want to follow, kind of like their lifestyle. And he said, look, like you've been identified as like a bit of a character who we want on the show. So they literally followed me for about a year and a half, home life, away from it and everything. Like how that? Do you remember how the season ended? So we went on like 7 games unbeaten run.
Yeah. Because you went on a bit of a patch where they dropped you for a bit, didn't they? And then
I went to Germany, if you remember.
Yeah, that was a modelling thing. Wasn't it?
They dropped me. Then they weren't going to play me.
Well, just use it as an example. That,
Yeah.
Because I'm sure didn't they bring you in like the 85th or something like that? And
you on it, 87th minute or something.
And you bagged it.
0-0, came on, bang, scored the winner. I'd just been to Germany on a modelling shoot.
Yeah.
And Gary was going mad because I had to miss a game. I was like, but it's like potentially $5,000. He's like, you shouldn't go.
Your family,
I can't turn that down, Gary. Like, you only pay me £400 a week.
It was end of season as well, wasn't it, where you're not going to get paid, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly, So on the Tuesday's game...
Did you have bust up with him?
No, not really. I think he understood in the end.
You've got to understand that.
Yeah. But on the documentary, he was kind of like... They were like, well, no, this is his job. He shouldn't miss a game. I was like, well, no, that pays my wages. That pays my mortgage and stuff like that.
I think they've got to do that because they're being filmed to look like he's taking it seriously.
No, but he actually rang me. Like I said, like, you're not going. I was like, Gary, I'm 100% going. Like, I can't turn that down. I said, look, if you want to get my missus on the phone and you tell her that you're going to give me my $5,000 instead and I'll stay and play. But he just couldn't get it into his head.
But I think at that
time...
for
them,
perspective.
Yeah, I think at that time as well at Salford, there was... Not all the lads were being paid, were they? I think there's only you and a couple others.
No, they're all being paid.
Oh, were they? Just not being paid as much.
Yeah, it's not being paid as much, Obviously, I was the top earner, so he didn't think I should
set an example sort of thing.
Yeah. So obviously, have you seen the documentary? Because I've been to Germany, came on, scored the winner, and then as I was walking off, like the camera just went like that, and I just went, Eins, Strine. And they were like, the BBC were just like,
oh no, he was it's like, I was just let it go.
But they loved it. So the BBC was like, you are like the Roy of the Rovers. They're like, we cannot. And then we needed to win the last 7 games of the season. I think I scored something like 15 in 7. Mate, we won every game, won the league. I finished with 30 odd goals. It was like amazing. But in the second season, second game into the season,
is everybody stopping you on the streets at this point? Because you kind of become a bit of a celebrity.
Yeah, it was mad.
Well, they started drawing more crowds, didn't they, because of the thing? Because people come in to see, essentially you play.
When the documentary came out, we were like 9.5 million people. Some ended up watching it. So I used to go out in Manchester, get mobbed by like lads, groups of lads, like Seddon, let me get you a drink.
No, that's cool, that mate.
It was brilliant.
Yeah,
honestly,
really
it was
cool.
brilliant. And it was good because I think they related to me because they didn't see me.
Yeah.
They weren't like, oh, he's a dickhead, or he's a wanker, or he's up his own arse or anything like that. They were like, oh my God, Seddon, because there was stuff on the program where I'm sat on the toilet and I was modelling and I'm like, how the fuck am I getting paid for this? I weren't, like you said, and I think they related to that, and everyone was brilliant with me. They were brilliant. It was like a brilliant little 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
So they did a second.
The second season. So like they're even still doing it now. Like they still film me a little bit now.
Do they?
Yeah, doing like the agency work. But yeah, the second season I got injured 3rd game into the season, and I ended up I tore my medial, So I couldn't play for about 5 months, and then they just wouldn't play because they knew they were getting rid of me at the end of the season.
What was the reason of getting rid of you?
Just because I'd been injured nearly all season. I was 36 by then, and they were looking to obviously bring in younger. But even Gary said like, we should have kept you, 100% we should have kept you. But there was a bit of, I don't know if it was like not jealousy, but a little bit. It was everyone said it was a Gaz Seddon show.
The Gaz Seddon show,
Everybody said that, and I don't think Salford wanted it to be portrayed like that, which has nothing to do with me. So I think they saw an opportunity to get me out of the door and move on and focus on Salford.
Mate, thinking about that, they should have carried on with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Would have got more supporters to the club and everything, wouldn't it?
Well, I fell out with them at the time, but now that I've had a bit of time to look back, you gain a bit of perspective, don't you? And I think, fair enough. They had to do what they had to do.
Yeah.
So I don't like, we're all friends again now. We get on with the chairwoman and the managers. And I don't hold any grudges. But at the time, I was gutted because I was thinking, I've got injured. Like, why won't you play me? I felt like there was, because I knew it was probably my last season.
Yeah.
So I knew I was going to retire like pretty soonish, and it was though they were like that same scenario. They were taking it away from me again.
Yeah.
Like then these last few months of my career, they weren't playing me, and I had this anger building up. And I don't know if you remember in the documentary, we got into the playoffs, and then in the playoff final, still weren't playing me. It went into extra time. It was 1-1, and then striker got injured. I was thinking, fucking hell, I'm on. Like, I'm the only striker, and then there was like a striker come winger who'd been injured for about a month, and he'd not even trained. Anyway, they called him over and brought him on, and I was furious. I was like, are you fucking, like, what have I done so wrong that you won't put me on? And he'd been out a month with his hamstring. Luckily, this is like fate again. So like, we're in extra time now. He came on within 3 minutes. He pulled up on his hamstring again, came off. I was the only lad left, and they had to put me on. Ball come, I flicked it on, went out for a corner. They took the corner. Someone headed it out. I like readjusted my body, and I just like pure anger. I hit a half volley. Have you seen it?
Is this where they did the visualization thing in the
we did that afterwards.
Yeah.
But I hit a half volley, like coming back on myself. I'll get up and show half volley, bang, top corner, winner. I ran away, ran up to him, and just like go, fuck off.
That's a
good
goal.
Yeah, that's my last ever game.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because was that the two guys were managing then, weren't they?
Yeah.
The two fellas. Because there was the original dude. Who was that Phil?
Phil Power, yeah.
And he went there for that long, were he?
No.
Into the documentary, anyways.
No. Them two needed to come in. They're like whatever it shows on the documentary. Like, them two were brilliant.
Yeah.
They were brilliant. Yeah, but I just felt like they'd been told that I was leaving, and they had to get rid of me. And there was I don't know whether there's a bit of whether they thought that I was faking the injury or I was. But from my point of view, I was desperate to get back because I knew I'd only had a few games left until I was retiring.
Weird things happen when the media starts kicking in, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, you never know how it's portrayed.
Motives and shit
Yeah.
You're just like,
And I think at one stage they thought that me and another lad were after their jobs, which I can't think of anything worse. I never want to do that. So when that ball's come across and I've hit it and it's flown it top corner, I was just like, wow.
The one that you just literally sat up and you just thought, I've got to get something on it.
I'll try and get it up. I'll show you. It's like, no, it's just like, you can just see,
Have you thought about putting in the top corner?
No.
Or have you just gone,
just
get something on this?
Yeah, as soon as he's headed it, I kind of read where it was going. And as it's bounced, I've just half volleyed it. And I just hit it as hard as I could. It could have gone over. It could, like, honestly.
Half a second later, it's,
But it, like, 100 times, I'd have shanked that.
Yeah.
Just caught it sweet, and it just went in top corner, and that was it. Winner.
Yeah.
I was just like, like little bits like that in my life where I think that's just fate. It was just fate. It was going to happen.
Yeah, because I remember because it built up to that, because that was the second season, was it?
Yeah.
And I remember, and it built up. The whole thing was of you not being in the team, and it was more about
play again.
What have they done there? They cut you in a shower for contemplating. What was the? Didn't they do like some sort of?
No, it was the visual. They brought like a mind coach in, didn't they?
Oh no!
Yeah,
I think you told me about this.
So it's like after he scored the goal, so there was like it was sort of like this pinnacle moment.
You get Gaz's head straight.
Yeah, and it was like visualise the ball dropping over your shoulder or something like that, wasn't it? And it was a bit cheese, wasn't it?
Oh, it was
That's what happens. Just leave it as it is. It's all right.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Just leave it as it is. So that's it.
So that was
Salford,
it.
done. Last goal, boom. See you later, motherfuckers. Have just like
It's a good way to go out, though, isn't it?
Finished on a high.
Finishing a high.
That's always what I wanted to do. I didn't want to finish where people were watching me going, "Fucking hell, he's crap."
Wasted talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot through my life. That. Yeah. You don't pay attention. Gentle lad. So what happens then after Salford happens?
So I was trying to think where. I was ready to retire. I was really ready to retire.
You've got the mousetrap at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, you
got
just
the mouse,
open.
yeah, so we bought the bar.
Yeah.
Well, it was a coffee shop at the time that was like really well known for its cheese and stuff, like cheese boards and sharing platters. And then we live around the corner, and I used to go in every now and again for a coffee. And I got talking to the guy behind the bar, and we end up like he's from Burnley as well, so we got mates. I just said to him one morning, I said, like, if you ever think about selling this place, like, give us a shout, because I thought it'd be really good for my missus, because she wanted to get into something like that. And he said, oh, I'm actually thinking of selling up. Like, I had this idea anyway that what he was doing was good, but it could have been so much better. And obviously we did. So we ended up, we bought it, then spent like 30-40 grand on it and turned it into a proper bar. Yeah,
it's got a really good reputation.
We have live
I've had loads of people talk to me about it.
Yeah. Loads of people from Bolton, it's cottoned on with the last 12 months. Anyways, people
and then I always drop your name and I'm just like, oh yeah, we know him.
Oh, yeah. Well, my missus hates it because she'll, like, people come in and go, oh, is Gaz the owner in?
Yeah.
And she's like, fucking owner. But it's all there, like, it was obviously my idea to buy it, and we discussed as like, you got to change it into a bar. You have to change it into a bar, like, because it would bring your own wine. Yeah. And I was like, you're never going to make any money doing that. But so we lost them customers, but we've gained tenfold because it's a proper trendy bar now. And we still do all the cheese, like even better now. Like my missus designed all these different kind of cheese platters, sharing platters, meat and cheese, Lancashire sharers, all stuff like that. Yeah. But then we've got a proper bar where you've got wines, gins, beers, everything. And it's like I say, we have live music on, and we have saxophone nights.
The Mousetrap, Rotten Stall.
Ramsbottom, isn't it?
Ramsbottom. How far is Rotten Stall from there?
Sorry.
Was it Ramsbottom? The Mousetrap.
It's nice, I've been.
Have you ever talked about the gambling before?
No.
Why did you tell me?
I don't know.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah.
I think it's really important, mate. Really important. How did that start?
I don't know, really. I think it started towards my end of my career, the last year at Salford. And it was kind of just, I think because I weren't playing, I was looking for that thrill. And it's obviously, there's a culture in it anyway, in football. And it were more just, it never really, when I was playing, it was just the odd bet here again, and, you know, playing cards on the bus and all stuff like that. And it was more when I retired. I think I was looking for that, because I weren't playing anymore. I weren't getting that thrill of scoring a goal. That's all I was bothered about when I played football.
I mean, you look at it's a massive high, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it would. I always used to get the winning goal, like all the time. Like it's just weird, like weird fate in my career. And I'd believe in it. Like it'd be 0-0, 1-1, 2, whatever, and I'd be saying to people, "Give me the ball, I'll get the winner." And I just knew I would get the winner, and 9 times out of 10, I did. I think it's because I believed in it. And there's so many games in my life where, like, I've got a last minute winner.
Can you compare that to something else, like
No.
getting
Like
that goal?
feeling.
Like a feeling, no.
And I think when I retired, one, it had finally come to an end. Everything that I'd been through, so all the highs and lows, all like the illness, injuries, broken, being let go, not being good enough, getting back playing again, and all stuff like that. I think it finally, even though I was really ready to retire, once I did retire, I didn't want to play football anymore, but I missed that adulation. I missed the massive highs of scoring. I missed aiming
you're
for
talking
something.
like a massive endorphin hit, aren't you?
Oh, massive,
Just
yeah.
like,
and I thrive off that. You know me. I thrive off that.
Yeah.
I love that. Not so much the attention, but that happy feeling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love that feeling. So when I retired, I had nothing to work to, nothing to work for during the week. Like, I had no aim on aiming. All my life since leaving school, I'd wake up and I'd work to that game on a Saturday, and then I'd get that. I had that chance to become the hero on the Saturday, and most of the time I did. And then I'd start again the week after. So once that stopped, I just felt like I had nothing. It was really hard. I didn't realise it had hit me that much. And like I said, I didn't want to go back playing football. It was just something really subconscious that I must have been missing.
Did you know it at the time?
No. I only know this. It makes sense because I spoke to the PFA and I went speaking to a counsellor.
Yeah.
So they put me on like a 12-week course where I went to see this guy, and we talked about like everything that I've talked about. And he literally said, like, bloody hell, you've been through a lot, and for it to finally come to an end, your body's ready, but your mind, and how he explained it is, so the gambling, it wasn't. I used to look for games that were 0-0, 1-1, 2-2 with like 15-20 minutes to go.
What you used to do.
Yeah, and I used to lump on it, and then if it scored, because I'd be watching the game, and I wasn't watching a real life game. I was watching the like animation, like
the way they're attacking,
attack. And I used to watch it, and when it froze, and then the goal went in, I used to have that same like
rush.
Yeah, that same rush, because the guy explained it to me, because you was mentally in that game, even though you wasn't physically playing, you was mentally attached to that game, because you had such a big reward if it came in, but then if it didn't come in, I had such a down. So then what I'd do, I'd look for another game and I'd go bigger to get that thrill. Now if I put £20 on that and it came in and I won a tenner, doesn't mean anything. It was the risk reward kind of thing.
Right.
So
how bad did it get?
It got bad.
What does that mean?
So it were like 50, 60 bets a day.
Really?
Yeah, but it was, you kind of playing with the same money.
Right.
Because you're winning it, then you lose it, then you're winning it. So it's the same money.
So what are you doing? Putting, say, 20 quid on, and then if that didn't come in, you'd double and go 40, and then to try and win back what you'd lost.
I used to start off maybe 200 instead of 20.
Yeah, obviously for the
And it was just because I was really.
You were just consuming your life.
Yeah, I was looking for.
Were you doing going to toilet and checking the stuff?
Yeah.
Obviously, your missus didn't know.
No, she didn't know, and it just came to a point where I just it was just taking up all my energy, everything. It was just, and it would imagine having 500 or a grand on a game, and you're watching it the whole time, like how your heart is racing, and then you have either like the massive high, or you have like the depressing low, and then you do it again. You might do that 15 times in a day, every day. It was just fucking. Yeah, it were horrible. It was just consuming me. But I was that, because I hate losing.
Yeah.
Because I hate it so much, I had everything wrote down, how much I deposited, how much I withdrew. I knew to the penny how much I'd won or lost, and I couldn't. A lot of the time, I couldn't go to bed until I was broke even or I was up. So sometimes I'd be like, I could be $2,500 down, and I'd be taking $5,000 from the savings, lumping on, and it coming in. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. And then I go to bed.
And do it all again the next day.
Do it all again.
Fucking hell.
That's mental.
Mad. And I went and, like I say, I just come to a point where I broke even. So for like a year, I broke even.
Have you ever thought about going talking about this and actually getting paid for going talking about it?
Mate. Yeah. It's mad.
This is what I was saying about you, like, you know, utilising exactly who you are as a person. You know, you're a great character, mate. You tell a great story, but telling that side of your story, you know, to other professional players and, you know, making people aware of it.
Well, I think what you said before as well is it makes you relatable, because you've just an average guy who's had all this stuff happen to you, but you've come back from it and you've got better and you've never let it keep you where you was.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring, isn't it?
I definitely think there's not just, I'm not just a one-off either. I think there's loads and loads of, the more I read about it, loads and loads of young lads are getting into gambling because it's so accessible and it's so in your face. Like even now, it bugs me sometimes when I see adverts and it's just like, it shows them on the phone, put a bet on, then a goal goes, and they're cheering. They don't see,
just like taking a hit from a pipe or like,
you
know what I mean?
Well, they don't see the 3 o'clock in the morning when you're 1,800 quid down, you're crying on your floor, thinking, how the fuck am I going to win this money back?
You've definitely got to write a book, mate.
Yeah.
You just got to get the right ghostwriter to do it for you. That's got your tone of voice and make sure they depict you properly.
Yeah, I do think I don't think I'd be. I don't like saying. I don't think I'd be inspiring, but I think I could teach some good lessons, if you know what I mean. Because I do think I've been through quite a lot.
I don't think it's about being inspiring. It's about giving people knowledge.
Yeah,
to think in a certain way. You know what I mean? So many people got a perspective on gambling, and you know, it's cool, but you know, if you don't get the right knowledge, you can inspire a lot of control so quickly.
Oh yeah, because sometimes I don't want to do it because I think, like, so many people been in far worse situations than me. I didn't want to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's just the nature. You don't want to upset anybody again. That it comes back round to that you don't want to walk out the room, say your bit, and then what then people think about it when people. You know what I mean? You can't think like that, mate.
And I think it's more a case of people haven't experienced what you've experienced, and there'll be people who are going through what you've been through, and it's more close to their circumstances. They're going to relate to it more, and like you said, take away something from it.
Yeah.
So I think,
you know, go to the PFA and say, look, I want to do this thing, and this is, you know what I mean? I think it's really cool, mate. Really cool. I love the fact that you can talk about it. I love the fact that you can talk about anything, and your emotional intelligence. You know, it's massive that being able to talk about. Nobody wants to do that. They just want to keep it at the ego level that my life's perfect. And, you know,
I'm bulletproof.
I'm bulletproof and lies.
Yeah, so I don't mind that because I think, how can you improve as a person if you don't do anything wrong? I think that's kind of how I signed it off with the gambling when I was seeing this guy, and he just said to me, he said, you look through anybody's book of life, and there'll be some pages where they don't want you to read because they're not perfect. He said the good thing about you is that you don't mind people reading it, and he said, and he kind of said it's a good thing because if you don't admit to it yourself, don't admit to your failures, you'll never improve as a person. Yeah. And I kind of thought, that's a good way to.
It's massive, mate. But that's what I'm saying about you teaching people that. That's inspiring. Massively. Nobody does that. But that's how you smile nervously. Because I know you are, mate. But that's your gift, mate. That's your gift to go on stage and teach people that. And by doing that, you are inspiring. It will come that. But this is what I'm telling you. I'm just putting it into your head that it's there. Then you'll kind of, when it comes, it'll be like, oh yeah, remember saying that in my podcast.
Should have done that.
And you're open to it.
Well, I just think with the kind of person you are, and especially after speaking today, I don't think you'd be bad at anything. Because I think when you've got to focus on something, you'll make it work. Whether you're good at it or you're bad at it, by the end of it, you'll be fucking good at it. And that's just the way. That's just the kind of person that you are. Yeah. That's how you got good at football. Like you said, you wasn't talented in football. Really, was you'd start with. It was just pure hard work that got you there. And that's what we always say. Isn't it? It's not about being the most naturally gifted or thing. It's always about being the most hardest worker in the room.
Yeah. I'll speak to the first person I had sex with.
So,
nowadays,
pretty good.
Yeah, what are you up to these days?
Yeah, it's good. Well, when's this podcast coming out?
I don't know yet.
All right, can we at least a few weeks? Is it?
I can't do a
couple
of
weeks.
Too.
So I started my own football agency.
What's it called?
DRN Sports.
Yeah.
I started that 2 and a bit years ago. Now I'm on the verge of leaving. I'm just doing an agreement at the minute to give up my shares. I'm director of it, so I give up that.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving to a bigger agency, probably the biggest in the world. So I've been through like a 4 interview selection, and then I got a phone call yesterday saying, "Congrats."
Is that the right move?
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
1,000,000%.
Why?
Just because it's just the right road to go down. Everyone who I've spoke to have even people a year ago said that's the route you need to be going down, and it wasn't. And it wasn't until I spoke to them later on down the line that you realise it's kind of for me to get to the next level and to achieve what I want to achieve. I won't be able to do it where I am.
But what do you want to achieve right now? What's your because when you take this job, doing the BT and all that thing, you're not.
No, it's all there. No, this is part of what we've discussed.
Is it?
They don't mind me doing all that because they said it's great for your profile.
Right.
And as obviously an agent as well.
Yeah.
That I'll be. Like being in the limelight, so being on Sky Sports, being a commentator.
Right, sounds so you can do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
Because that's your natural gift. That.
Yeah. No, they've said like that's great. You know, and they quite like. So they quite liked the kind of entrepreneurial stuff that I've done. So do you like the character that you built for yourself? Yeah. Well, we talked about my career and stuff like that, and then one of the main guys said, right, tell me what you've done after football, not in football. So I told him about what we've done with the mousetrap, with the commentating, with the modelling, the adverts and all stuff like that. And he was like, that's fucking brilliant. He said, I love all that. He said, you know why I love it? He said, because you're not just that person. He said, you've gone out there and you're doing that, and you've got different characters to your personality. And he said, you haven't just sat on your laurels, you've gone and done this and earned more money that way. Like he said to me, like, why do you do that? And I said, well, I'm not earning a lot of money with this job, so I have to. And I said, I'm doing it because I've got a young family, I want to be successful, I want to do this. And he said, but brilliant.
What does success look like to you, Gav? When you said I want to be successful, what does that look like to you?
Do you know, I have no aspirations of being a millionaire.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to be comfortable. For the last few years, we've been really scrimping and scraping because, like, it's starting your own business costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can't pay yourself as much as you want to. Then there's, like, say, your cars, expenses. I've got 2 young children and a 9-year-old and just everything like that. So I want to be in a position where I just enjoy life. I'm not. If I want to go on holiday, we have money to go on holiday. Mm-hmm. If I want to, like, give my kids a good Christmas, I want to be successful where I'm happy. I wake up every day and I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I've got enough money to, like, look after my family. I don't want a Ferrari. I don't want a 5-bedroom down. I'm not interested in that. But I want to be able to say, like, right, I can take you all away on holiday in the summer.
Yeah, smart.
We can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Like, I think if I get 5 years time, if I can do that and I'm on decent money, I think I'll be. So I'm enjoying my job. I'm not. I get up every day and I think, wow, fucking, what a great job this is. Instead of working to live. Instead of living to work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I want to work to be able to live and give my kids and my family enough.
You'll always do that, mate. You've just got it within you, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so.
But I think what you need to do is leave your legacy and reputation behind. Either that's writing a book or going into, academies and stuff and telling your story.
Yeah.
You still get paid for that, and your agency that you're working for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just going to benefit their profile.
Yeah.
That if you can be the voice of that,
yeah.
and just saying, look, this is the agency that I'm working for and I want us to do this, that I think that's pretty smart as well, mate, because I think there's a lot of people suffering with that addiction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think there is. Yeah. Yeah, I think
Does this mean that, when you're working for us, the wages are going to start going up now? Or do we have some sort of fixed rate?
No.
Model fee.
We have friends rates, don't we? But yeah, no, I like to say I did think about the book. Cause it'd just be good to have something out there, like you say, so you leave it with your kids. Like,
Paul Gascoigne left you a book when you were little, mate.
Exactly, yeah.
So
you never
that's
know.
exactly, you never know.
Yeah, I'm not.
Who's reading it?
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't do it to try and make loads of money. I'd do it just to have something that's kind. Like, I'm quite lucky with the documentary because that's always going to be there. People can always find something of me. But it'd be great to have a book just to say, right, that's my life story. That's what I went through. And I came out the other end and I was actually like a nice guy with it. Didn't turn out to be a dick.
That's the end of the podcast for me. That's the sign up right there. If anybody wants to go and follow Gaz, which you should go and follow Gaz because he is a bit of a jack lad. It's is it Seddon?
Seddon 19, yeah.
Oh, we never said why you didn't like the number 9.
Oh yeah, so when I had to retire, I was number 9. So when I got the blood disease, I was 9 at Bury. When I signed for Rushden, I was number 9.
Yeah.
And that's when all my problems happened. So when I come back and I got asked what number I wanted to be, I said 19.
Yeah.
So I come back 19 and touch wood, it all went.
So that's your lucky number now.
19, yeah, it goes on my lottery.
So you're still gambling? Gaz, thanks so much for coming on, mate.
No problem. Thank
Nice
you
one,
for
mate.
having me.
Peace out, everybody. Goodbye.